Hi, I'm Rick Dancer. Coming up on this edition of Rick Dancer TV, I'm going to take you back in time a little bit to some of our older stories that we've done in the past, because it's stuff that we haven't aired in a while, and I think it's stuff that you really would like to see. One of the stories is CASA out of Josephine County. Another thing we're going to do is take you on a sports car ride in a Lotus with John Shepard, who used to own Shepard Motors here in Eugene. And then we're going to take you on what I understand is now the most popular sport and growing sport in Oregon. We'll take you paddleboarding. That's coming up on this edition. I'm not dead. That sounds like something interesting. I picked up my magazine the other day, my outdoor magazine, and it was telling me that paddleboarding is like the #1 most growing sport in the country, and especially here in Oregon because there's so many places people can go. And my wife and I have tried this several times, and it's not as hard as it looks. It takes a little bit of balance, but once you get out there, it's an absolute ball. So we rented them at a company up on Mount Hood and took them out to a lake that sits right in the shadow of that beautiful mountain. We were able to put our picnic basket, our chairs and everything on that, take it out to a little island, and we were in total seclusion in a lake that was pretty darn busy. So take a look. What I'm discovering in my life right now is that balance is everything. And in order to balance my life, I've got to have a focal point. Doesn't mean I have to know where I'm going. It means I have to have a focus. Well-meaning people and thoughts and distractions will come by, and sometimes they're not well-meaning, but they'll come and try to distract you from what you're doing. The key is, don't look around. Don't look behind you, and don't look too far ahead. Just keep your focus where you're at. And what I discover is that if I keep my balance, that I can carry more weight on my shoulders than I ever dreamed possible. Phil Spears, the owner of Shepard Motors, is a friend of mine, and he's a really good guy, and so is John Shepard, the former owner of Shepard Motors. And one time John says, "Hey Rick, you and I need to go do something that guys over 50 do." And I said, "What's that?" And he said, "Drive a sports car." So can two of us fit in here?
We can.
Is this like a midlife crisis for me? Because I like this?
You know, I've been in midlife crisis since I was about 15 years old, so. Okay, Ricky. You must wear a seatbelt in this car. It's required. The whole concept of this car goes back to the roots of the purest sports car and what Lotus was all about. Very lightweight car, with a 4-cylinder. Very minimalist. To get lightweight, you have to use a lot of aluminum. You can't have a lot of whistles and bells and heavy stuff in the car.
So John's gonna let me drive his car.
Yes, I am.
It's a total ego thing. Okay, so how do I start it?
Well, to start with, you put the clutch in, because it might be in gear. And then
We're not gonna probably put that part in. So if I bought a car like this, do I have to wear yellow too?
Depends on what color your car is.
And then a little later in this episode, we'll show you me getting behind the wheel. It's not that pretty. Okay, as you guys all know, Aretha, the kidnapped Lockmead Farms cow, is still out there, and her kidnapper is still out there as well. Well, I know that you're out there answering our ads. We've had people calling and just hanging up, and we know that somebody out there knows who took the cow from the Willamette Music Festival, the Willamette Country Music Festival. This was last year in August of 2013. And you ripped off the cow, and Lockmead wants it back, and hey, they're willing to give you a lot of ice cream to get that thing back. So if you know who's holding the cow, we want to know. So here's the number you call, or you can hashtag Finding Aretha, and go to the website, go to the phone number that we're going to give you on the screen, and give us a call. No questions asked. The Lockmead family, the Gibsons, they want the cow back, but they will not ask any questions. You will get the reward, but please answer the cry. Aretha needs her home back. You know, every year you get that little teeny crack, that little rock chip in your windshield. I hate that because I sit and stare at it and I know it's just gonna grow. Well, we're doing some work for A1 Auto Glass, and I'll tell you what, my son took his car in there when somebody smashed in the window. My wife just took hers in there because a couple of rock chips, we let them go, and they spider-webbed and destroyed the entire windshield. And they're fast, they do great service, they know what they're doing. And did you know that your windshield is actually part of your safety of your vehicle? The overall structural safety is part of your windshield because they put less steel in the cars now. And so that's actually a safety feature. So if somebody comes out and puts in and doesn't do it the right way, you're actually risking your family's safety. So take a look at this video and we'll show you how they fix that rock chip. You look out your windshield and it's all you can see. Sure, in reality the rock chip is tiny, but you know it's going to grow. You know if you let it go, the cracks will start, and sooner or later that chip will ruin your entire windshield. At A1 Auto Glass, we can fill that hole and prevent it from destroying your windshield. It's a lot cheaper to fix a rock chip when it's small than to wait until it's turned into a spider web covering your windshield. Don't put up with those little chips. Bring it to A1 Auto Glass, where doing the right thing still matters. Okay, now it's my turn to drive the Lotus. Now you got to understand, I have a little TSX, so it handles really well on the corners on Camp Creek when I'm driving home. But to drive somebody else's car, especially a Lotus, where there's no roof, you're jammed in there, and I'm trying to be careful with this guy's car, but John Shepard just thought I was the biggest wuss on the road. God, this makes me nervous to drive someone else's car.
That's all right. You break it, you bought it.
At Shepard Motors, you break it, you buy it. Our new motto since Rick started driving.
Let's put it in first gear instead of third.
You are just...
There he goes.
Oh, man.
Let's just see where he's going.
I can't believe how nervous I am to drive. Honey, when I'm 60, this is what I want. Just a little present.
No, we don't go slow around corners, we go fast.
Oh. You're going to push me on this thing, aren't you?
Have you ever had any driving instruction? We're just a couple juveniles. Oh, kill!
I centered it.
Good job.
Oh, he's a skunk. It's good, I said. Ah.
Thank you for not running over there.
You're welcome. My wife Kathy is a CASA, it's a court-appointed special advocate. And these are folks who volunteer their time, go through an extensive training process to stick up for kids, to become the voice for children in our community who may be in foster care or who in situations that are less than perfect. But they need someone to represent them in the courtroom, and that's what a CASA does. A few years ago, I was hired by Josephine County to do a story on their CASA operation down there. Met this young lady who's in this video, and it's about a 7-minute video, but you know what? I think if you sit and watch this, you'll get a really good idea of what CASA is all about, and even a better idea of what some kids go through and what they're managed to be able to overcome.
My name is Sarah. I have been in foster care for most of my life. I was 3 years old, and a relative came up to me, and they always bought me a lot of stuff, a lot of toys, and whenever I knew that I was getting a toy, I knew that I was gonna be sexually abused. I knew that something bad was gonna happen, and I always felt like it was my fault. Homes and circumstances have changed many times. I remember the day in the courthouse when I was testifying against the relative, when they had denied the imprisonment, that all they did was smile and wave and say that everything was going to be okay. And then that's when another relative started abusing me. But one thing that hasn't changed is my CASA, Patty May. She has always been there for me.
CASA means Court-Appointed Special Advocate, and we are just volunteers that will go through training, and we are the voice for the child.
I was on suicide watch. I did not care about myself at all. I got into a lot of stuff that really hurt me. I was pretty much in a downward spiral with my life. Mrs. May goes up in front of the judge and fights to keep my best interest in mind.
There's a lot of kids that need somebody to speak up for them because they are being abused on a daily basis.
She taught me that I can stand up for myself. She cares about everything that happens to me. If I'm sad, she gives me a hug. Sadness is having a hole in your heart and knowing that no matter what you try to fill it up with, it's never going to be filled. Mrs. May knows me better than anyone I know. She understands my pain, my sadness, my anger, and my happiness.
There's one person out there that really cares about them, and they're not paid to care. They really genuinely care for them.
My CASA fought for me when everyone else seemed to give up.
For Sarah, she didn't have any hope because, every placement that she had been in her own home, there was abuse in every single situation.
Lonely is having no hope, that you're just by yourself and you're in your own, it's like being in a black hole. Hope is finally getting a rope and crawling out of the hole and believing in yourself even when you didn't want to believe in yourself, and having someone there to help you along.
I know presently in where we live, there's not a CASA for every child, and I think there should be. And what child shouldn't get a CASA? I mean, who shouldn't have a voice?
My CASA showed me I have a voice and how to use it to advocate for myself.
If you're out there and you're contemplating whether you should do this, that this may require too much of your time, I would ask that you would, I'm sorry, look at Sarah's life and say, here's a girl that her life got turned around because she did have a CASA.
She means a whole lot to me, and I know I mean a whole lot to her.
It touches my heart. Her letter just, I mean, that's worth $1 million plus.
I want to go into the nursing program, and I want to make a difference in people's lives, that when they feel that they have no one there, when they feel that no one cares about them anymore, that I can come along and pick up their pieces and pick up their broken hearts and help them. I want to be a foster mom, and I also wanted to be a CASA. My CASA showed me it's okay to be me.
All right, as most of you know, I'm kind of a workout fanatic, and my wife and I love to swim and run, and we started this new class at our gym, and it's called Insanity. And there's a reason it's called Insanity. Tell you what, I don't do it as much as I used to because I started finding my ankles were hurting, but I'll tell you what, when you get done with a workout like that, your body's exhausted. And what I don't need is a protein drink, and what I don't need is a Gatorade. What I need is something that's really going to restore the energy and recover my muscles. And the best thing science shows you is 3 carbs to 1 protein, and the perfect blend is in something very natural, chocolate milk. And the only chocolate milk I want to drink is Lockmead. Lockmead Farms produces the best, and here's the video. I'll show you a little bit about what Insanity looks like.
Strength isn't just a word, it's a threat. Your muscles ache from the workout 2 days ago, but you keep pushing. Your core is tired, and what used to scare you is now the next hurdle to conquer. You push yourself just a little bit harder. The reward is not far off. People ask, what are you training for? The answer? Life. Your only opponent is the person looking back at you in the mirror. And when the workout is done for today, there's only one way to give back what you gave. Lockmead low-fat or non-fat chocolate milk. Recovery doesn't get any better than this.
On the 4th of July, I've got a party to tell you about. Eugene Daily News is teaming up with the Dexter Fire Department, also the Steel Pale, a bunch of different folks, and there's going to be a huge, massive party out at Dexter Lake. There's boat races, there's boats everywhere, there's going to be live music, food, beer, other beverages, and just a ton of people celebrating the 4th of July in kind of an old-fashioned way, except adding those powerful motorboats. But this promises to be a great time. You can go to Eugene Daily News and find out more information about it, and we'll be reminding you throughout the month so that you get out there. Remember, that's July 4th. You already have plans, so write that on your schedule.
Boys will be boys. When boys engage in bad behavior or do something mean, or they punch each other, or they get into a fight, we say boys will be boys. So what are we telling our little boys and our young men? We're excusing it. instead of, again, engaging in what's respectful. That's not okay. I think we have to have a standard of what's acceptable, and just because of someone's gender doesn't excuse them fighting or being mean. And I think it sets our boys up. That the popular boys, the big boys, the ones that are behaving badly, sometimes are the ones that kids are also looking up to. They're the tough guys. Everyone wants to be the tough guys. And we're setting them up. We tell them that if they are gentle in that somehow that's not the right way to be. So when we tell boys will be boys, I mean, what a setup.
You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of people that are making fun of folks like me for doing selfies. You know, all of a sudden selfies are the worst thing ever. Like, you know, they make fun of them in songs and music and I love selfies. I think they're awesome. I don't think we should be ashamed of selfies. I think we should be proud of selfies. Stand up for selfies. You know, people who use selfies are just people like me who don't want to hire Will, the photographer. See, he's right there. And I can't hire him every time I want to go take a picture. So I take my selfie. So maybe it's because people don't know how to do selfies. So let me show you how this works. Obviously, you put your camera on reverse. Never do a selfie of yourself in the bathroom with your shirt off. It's kind of like if you're over 40 and wearing bling on your jeans. It doesn't work. I've been called the king of selfies, so I'm going to show you how to do a selfie. First, you have to put your camera on reverse so it's shooting you. I mean, I know that's pretty obvious, but some people don't realize that. The other thing you have to know is for a true selfie, it needs to have your arm in the picture. That's the only way it works. I'm going to start putting your selfies on the air. No nudity, none of that, but you're going to email me at rick@rickdancer.com, send me your selfie, and we'll stick them on the show. And here's the best news. If you have somebody who's like a public figure, like Wayne Morris, in the background, you know, doing a photo bomb, you get extra points. I'm calling Ranchito Grill to find out who wins this month's free 2 dinners. So I'm going to hopefully get Ruben or Abe on the phone here. Hi, is Ruben there?
Yes, one moment. Who is calling?
Rick Dancer, thank you.
Okay, just one moment, please.
Ruben's the guy who always does the drawing for me. So if you go into Ranchito Grill, put your name in the little box, you could win 2 free dinners. And we do this once a month. It's Rick Dancer TV and Ranchito Grill do this together. So.
Good afternoon. How are you today, Rick?
I'm good, Ruben. How are you?
Excellent.
Hey, you want to draw a name for me?
We got Emily Haas. H-A-A-S. Okay, sounds good, Rick. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ruben. I'm going to see. I'm coming to dinner there tomorrow night with some friends of ours. So I'll be in there tomorrow evening. I don't know if you're in there in the nighttime, but I'll be there.
Sounds good. We'll take care of you.
All right. See you then.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, Ruben.
What I love about this business is the people. I'm a people person, so I love to interact with people, and I love to make people feel good. So one of the ways, is obviously with food, because when people taste something that is really good and really authentic, and have a really good service, they feel good. So that's what we're passionate about is people. We really care about people. What I will tell you, about our food is that we prepare everything from scratch. So we make sure we hire people that have the passion for making food. That's one of the ingredients. The other one, we make sure that our recipes, they use the ingredients that we tell them to use. And before we put it into the market, we make sure we test, try it, So we make our food from scratch, and people that we have as employees, they really care about how the food tastes. So they make sure that it's really good, authentic Mexican food. The only Americanized part, on these recipes are the melted cheese over, because people here like the melted cheese, And in Mexico we don't use that, but the flavor in the recipes and the ingredients, we use, all Mexican ingredients. But the only thing is Americanized is just to melt the cheese over. On some of the items like enchiladas or burritos, but like the carne asada, we use, Mexican seasoning to make sure that the flavor stays up as a Mexican give us a chat. And I make sure that I talk to them, you know, if they don't like it, I pay for it, you know. I'm very confident on our food, you know, because we eat it every day and we don't get tired.
Why do we label people? Look how much in a day I label people, and then we come up with softer labels to better describe people, but they're still a box. So we take people out of one box and we stick them in another box because it seems like a better way to describe them. But what if we didn't have any boxes? What if I never said, this is Chip, my brother-in-law who has a disability, or this is a person with a disability, or this is my gay friend, or this is my black friend, or my Asian friend. What if we just didn't say anything to describe people? We just said, this is Bill. Are we part of the problem? I don't know. But it seems insane to me. Because if I truly look you in the eye, then I don't notice any difference between you or me. But as soon as I describe you as gay, lesbian, African American, black, Asian, disability, white. You don't hear a lot of people going around, this is my white friend, so why do we do it with our gay, lesbian, or black, disabled friends? I'm going to try today to not describe anybody in that manner. And I challenge you to do the same thing. It's not going to be easy. Try it. Let's see what happens. No label day. So if you're in the market for a video, Rick Dancer Media Services, we create long format videos, shorter videos, YouTube videos, website videos. What we specialize in is telling your story. And we do it with heart, we do it with passion. Sometimes we do it and make it just a little wacky. It's whatever you want. But give us a call to find out more about our services and what we offer. My phone number is right here on the screen, 541-232-3143, or go to rickdancer.com or Rick Dancer TV. Okay, that's it for this edition. That's it for this edition of Rick Dancer TV. I don't have any credits for you in terms of bloopers and mistakes, because it's just you and me in my office. I mean, what am I going to do? Sit here and make jokes or something? I mean, what do you expect from me anyway? I can't always provide you with a blooper. I mean, if I kept the camera on all day, you probably would have a blooper, but I can't do that all the time. So get out of here. I got work to do.